Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's narration, the web series The Nature of Predators Book 2. If you are new to this series, there is a playlist listed down below in the description. And as always, I hope that you enjoy. Chapter 8. Memory Transcription Subject, Taylor Trench, Human Colonist. Date, Standardized Human Time, March 16th, 2160. The sunlight from above compounded my headache, as I tried to think of what I'd say to Gress. Each step against sandy ground felt as though there was nothing beneath my feet. And the bones holding me upright felt like nothing substantive at all. What I knew was that the Krev had never given us a break before, so this would be a singular occasion if they did demonstrate they care about our lives at all. We didn't deserve the hatred and the callousness they showed us. I could feel the warm breath damping the cloth near my lips, the mask hiding my scratched-up features. I found my mind wandering during the punishing walk, thinking about how much of the opulence we'd enjoyed on Earth was gone forever. Mayor Hathaway called me out for the old Earth songs that we came up with. But there weren't exactly record labels or studios here to create new anything. Not movies, not TV, not books, not paintings, not music. There were perhaps 3 or 4 musicians that played on the street as a hobby, but there were no full-time entertainers. Everyone needed to directly contribute to the city. I still remembered auditioning to play Hamlet and winding up as King Claudius instead. Half a millennium and hundreds of stars away, the bard's work survives. It's funny, because I used to wonder why they taught us the arts at all. Miss Quisp was right when she said when we stopped creating, we stopped being human. Have we stopped being human without our expression? I remembered what the subjects taught us in school, where we'd made a few crude instruments that children could tinker with. There's some semblance of our heritage. My fingers twitched in real time, recalling the fluid movements I'd learned against the piano. Sometimes I found myself walking down there to play a mournful piece. Those were bygone days, though, and it wouldn't demonstrate my loyalty to the colony. I didn't apply to be a teacher, after all, and we all had our roles. There were other things with more substance. Because of our small population, it was agreed that the next generation needed to share a language, which after much debate was set as English. Secondary languages were optionally available under AI instruction for cultural preservation. "You remember Crescento, Charisse?" I croaked, struggling to place one foot in front of the other. "He refused to take a job, wrote stories, sent them round on holopads. I liked his one story, where he found a way to make ourselves invisible. Mayor threatened to kick him out if he didn't work. Then, he was too tired to write. Dried up, just like we all dry up." The security guard escorting me jostled my elbow. "You're delirious, Tyler. Maybe we should turn back." "Feck off with that crap. We already made it this far. I've just been thinking about how little career diversity there is here. Because of the Krev, we all have to work towards equality." "There's only a few thousand of us. We don't have influencers or professional athletes anymore." "Imagine spending your life playing a game. Wouldn't fulfill me, but, sounds a lot more fun than our life. Us adults should have a pickup soccer game in the streets for old times, like the kids do." "I thought we finally agreed to call it football." "And to use the metric system. We stopped calling it soccer, and American culture is dead forever, I guess." Charisse failed to react in time as my legs gave out, and I face-palmed into the dirt. My head nearly collided with the cane. Somewhere along the way, my grip on the walking aid had loosened so much that it was ineffectual. I cursed my weakness, getting wrapped up in old memories during a pivotal time. Sand would be smeared all over my outfit when we reached the landing pad. The security guard placed her hand on my back, while using the other arm to slowly lift me up. I struggled to all fours and limped onward while keeled over. "No, you're all right. Taylor, you can't meet Gress like this. We shouldn't have let you go in the first place," Charisse shouted. My eyes rolled back in my head as I saw the landing pad in reach. "I can hear his ship. Walking is the hard part. I can talk just fine. Maybe if he sees me like this, it puts it into perspective. Assuming good old Gress gives us rat's ass about me." "I'm not convinced they feel anything towards us. Remember how that Krev tried to take advantage of us last time we came to bargain?" I know we didn't have any negotiating power. We have no choice but to hope that they feel something. For once, we could use the fecking help. I think you'll hear it in my voice, how awful that accident was. How terrible I feel about letting our obligations to our landlords exceed worker safety. Partially for personal gain. I'm a dick, really. This is my fault, whatever you say, and I'm going to fix it. The guard touched her ear with a frown. Mayor Hathaway is saying that you need to pull yourself together, that you can't be moping around out of guilt right now. He also says that if you collapse again, I'm taking you back, and he's coming up here himself, already suiting up. Brandon's the one who said he needed me, so let me do what's necessary. I'm not a fecking quitter. Get me to the pad and I'll do my job. I know my orders. You were seriously injured and other people were killed. I have all my limbs, and you'd think I could make them work for 10 minutes. Give me a break. We need to talk after this. I've never seen you like this in years, Taylor. I'm worried about your stability, and I don't think that you should be anywhere near the Krev. We take you to the landing pad, and you're sitting down and saying a few lines. Don't you dare undermine me in front of Gress, Cherise. Your job is to protect me and hold a fecking gun, not to schmooze these bastards like you're suddenly a diplomat. You know what? You are being a total arsehole. I'll let this slide because you're hurting and not right upstairs, but you're not going to take it out of me again. We clear? Crystal. I managed to shuffle the last few steps to the landing pad before setting my backside down on a crate with relief. My head definitely was causing some issues in my basic functions, but I could think clearly enough to know what I needed to tell Gress. In a world where the Krev would empathize and have any pity on a predator's culture, I'd spit back everything I'd been ruminating on in my own mind about the lost arts and our shell of a life. That was the one thing that we could never tell aliens with side-facing eyes. We remembered how the prey life forms had reacted to what we were before. There wasn't much that I knew about the Krev consortium, other than we had some vague notion that it was a collection of the Krev and 5 other species. Conveniently, all prey. Why are they the only ones so unlucky to have eyes in this position? Why did it have to matter so much? That the entire Federation couldn't bear to look at us. These masks are hiding that we are monsters, repugnant monsters to everyone up in the stars. I thought back to the wounded human faces in the infirmary, bearing wounds, hiding all the tumultuous emotions that coursed through my own blood. Some of the binocular eyes that I knew from our small settlement were closed forever because of the accident, and I couldn't forget that. I couldn't unsee the mental images, even the ones that I hadn't laid eyes on myself. Friends and colleagues, the last of our near-extinct species, the last hope for the Homo sapien lineage to continue. All we built turned to dust eventually, no matter how we struggled. I sped along our society crumbling, and ruined our final chance at staving off extinction. Nobody could tell me otherwise. Nobody could convince me that I didn't deserve the wounds I was bearing right now. I had to convince Gress, and I'd do it by any means necessary. We couldn't get evicted from our home by aliens again. The Krev vessel touched down, as I'd watched it do so many times before, with graceful engines that were left running for our rent collector's quick getaway. The green-scaled mammal marched down the landing ramp like he owned the entire world, which, as far as his kind were concerned, he did. I curled my lips beneath my mask at the sight of his lashing tail. I wanted to wring my hands around his neck and make him pay for all the guilt that was eating me up. Instead, I just watched as he spotted us and stalked over to our position with disdain. Do you not know I was coming? Why are the supply crates not waiting again? After you are all quite tardy, Krev spat. I inhaled sharply. Hello, Gress. I'd stand up to greet you, but I'm afraid I'm not quite well. I've been advised by our medical staff not to be here, actually. Yet I thought that it was too important for me not to try and smooth things over with you, not to show up. You do not look well. You look as though that you can hardly sit up, Taylor. If I didn't recognize your voice, I wouldn't know it was you. I'll understand if you were to require a different representative for the handoff, and I hope that your medical issues will clear up. That doesn't change my demands for the supplies. I threw my hands up in the air, looking defeated. I'll level with you, but please, let me explain before you say anything. The supplies aren't coming. I was overseeing our mining operations to ensure that everything was on schedule and we generated what you needed. We pushed ourselves too far. There was an accident. I sustained a head injury when I was nearly buried alive. Others died. We can't get you your ore, not for a long time, with our drill in tatters and our workforce eviscerated. I have no choice but to plead for mercy.
I see. There was a brief hint of something in his eyes, which resembled sympathy. It was never the Krebs' wishes for any lives to be lost. I am sorry for what happened to you. By the sounds of what I'm hearing come from your mouth, you wish for us to let you stay for free, because of your misfortune. This is after we haven't wanted you on our world for a long time.
I know that, but the accident happened. It was out of our control, or we would have given you everything. We need any mercy, no matter how granular. It doesn't have to be free. We could do something else, anything else, as long as we can fit it or labor on it below ground. We just need time to repair the drill, and we can resume regular payments. We could renegotiate, so it could be beneficial over the long run.
The long run? How does that suit our purposes at all, when what we want is your departure in motion? These payments haven't been cutting the trouble you humans are for a long time. You are intruders in our space, and you always have been.
I know you feel that way, but please, if you truly feel sympathy for the tragedy we've incurred, something that we have no way of fixing, give us some reprieve, or at least some proposal to work with us. Don't throw grieving families out, some with children, from the only homes they've ever known, before one thing went wrong with our deal in 20 years. You might think that we're trouble, and think these masks make us untrustworthy because of our cultural differences. But we've always met our pact before now. We're just trying to make a living, a life. I know we failed you, Gress, and I'm asking for mercy anyway.
The Krev paced for several seconds, at least making a show of seeming conflicted. Sherese's body language relaxed slightly, reflecting some hope that my plea might have gotten through to the snippy Gress. I wasn't going to set any unrealistic expectations, since our overlords hadn't even shown us emotional consideration before. The most we'd gotten from them was being taken advantage of, when we had no choice but to land on this colony. Oh, wonder, they let us land. I guess we were supposed to kiss their asses and sing their praises forever. Let me level with you, Taylor. I'm sorry about what happened with your people, but I have orders to see that you're removed within the year, or I'm fired, which would be fine by me, frankly, since I've never wanted this posting. But I was given it because they trusted me to put an end to the saga. Gress sighed. I'm not the type to kick people when they're down, no matter what's happening between us. So I have a proposal. Take me to the site of this accident to see it with my own eyes, and I'll request for the consortium to give you a bit more time.
I stiffened with disbelief. What? You want us to take you into our city?
I do. What I'll accept as payment is some hint of transparency. I'll give you the alternative to take off your mask here and now and look me in the eyes. You think we haven't figured out that it's not an important to your culture at all? And how they treated your wounds with that shit covering your skull?
You don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, there's special circumstances. But we don't show our faces. It should be a disgrace.
If that is true, then what's the issue with taking me through your settlement to the mines? I want to know something real about you people, to see how you live and to see what happened, so I can make my own judgment on whether you deserve mercy. Take me to the accident, or I'll carry out my government's will. Your choice.
Sherese tightened her fingers on her rifle. That's not possible, Gress. We don't like outsiders seeing our private lives.
Then I have no reason to help you people. You have—
Wait, I interjected. Maybe we can arrange something. We probably could show you some pictures of the site.
You and I both know that photographs can be doctored to show whatever you like. Seeing it confirms your story beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Okay, then, maybe you can give us some time to bring out the bag so that we can cover your vision on the way and clear out any workers. We can walk you down to the mine.
Why do you need to clear out any workers? Because you don't actually wear those goofy outfits down in your cities, and you just hide yourself from us. Take me straight down there, like any normal society. Oh, don't bother.
I can't, Gress. My people will never give permission for that. I'd be considered a traitor to all humanity. Please, give us some option that doesn't violate our privacy and the very spirit of our traditions.
I'm done giving you anything. You've hidden yourselves enough to show that you don't trust or respect us at all. This right here is why we can't fecking stand you, and why I'm not sticking my neck out for you. You have 1 week to get off our planet, or we will remove you by force. You got that?
No, wait. You can't do that. Please, give us a week to meet and discuss how we'll handle our departure. We need time to plan it. We've just suffered a catastrophe. We've been here for years.
The Cref snorted. I gave you a chance. You spit in our faces like you always do. Behind those two-faced words you love to throw at us. Goodbye, Taylor. I can't say I'll miss you.
Gress turned around, back towards his ship, with an arrogant swagger in his step. Charisse gasped in horror, at a loss for words. The mayor seemed to be passing something along into her earpiece, though I couldn't imagine what he could have said that I didn't. Those heartless aliens hadn't spared us at all, after we laid our hearts bare to them. Caber's face flashed through my mind, panicking as he tried to shut down the drawl. An intelligent, dedicated young man who was dead because I put the greedy Xeno's interests ahead of human life. I could still feel my nose being pressed into the dirt, as I thought I'd suffocated alive. I could remember my final thoughts of regret and the horror when I awakened to find that we'd had no chance. My head was swimming, even now, from the aftermath of those wounds, leaving me in a sorry state that didn't move Gress at all. Would that Crev have cared if I died? If hundreds of humans died? My fingers tightened around the cane in rage, before, with a sudden rush of adrenaline, I found myself stomping after the rent collector on steady feet. I swung the walking aid back, and before Charisse could react, I clobbered it against the back of his skull. The Crev emitted a startled shriek, which cut off as he crumpled into an unconscious ball. Steaming with white-hot, blinding fury, I brought the cane back for another swing. Charisse's arms dragged me away with desperation. I could barely hear her pleas for me to stop. All I could see was Caber's face. In the last moments I saw him alive, and that suffocating sensation I couldn't clear from my mind. Security guard Benson finally got a handle on me, wrestling me to the ground. My burst of strength fizzled in an instant as I laid on my side, immobile. What the feck did you do? Hathaway's screaming it, and I'm fecking agree with him, Charisse shouted. We can't go to war with them, Taylor. You know that. What you just did could really get all of us killed. I blinked, shameful tears welling up in my eyes. Feck, Gress is out cold. He's not waking up anytime soon. And now we can't let him go. We all have to find a way to fix this. Hathaway, send medics. We need someone to carry Gress while he's still out. Down to a private infirmary. Bring someone to help Taylor get back too. We should have never let him out like this. I sucked in several dazed breaths, processing the gravity of what I'd just done, assaulting Gress. Charisse was correct that we couldn't have the Crev return to his home, and tell these people that we physically attacked him. That could mean war between our people. The only thing I could think of was that we needed to hurry up and leave before a search party came looking for the rent collector. Maybe it was still possible to get some information out of Gress and persuade him to call off the dogs. As I waited for the medics to arrive, I desperately racked my brain for any possible way to correct my colossal mistake. This had only worsened the prior burden of guilt over how I'd ruined humanity's chances on Tellus. End of story. I would like to thank our T5 members and patrons, Casper Arnholtz, John Creighton, Vidmori, 050, Dragzoon W.R.E, and Elijah Silvercross. Thank you very much.